All right, Algebra 1. We're going to do, this is your notes, so you should write notes on it. Write your name. All right, period, date. Just good form to do that. All right. So we're doing section 2.4 today, solving multi-step inequalities. Where we need to, pause the video to catch up with what we're writing. So essentially we're combining what we've done in the last couple sections, or pretty much all the sections so far in this unit, into just a little more complicated problems, more than one step. One of the big things we need to remember is that if we divide or multiply by a negative, you have to flip the inequality symbol. It's an easy, super easy mistake to make. But also don't flip it when you're not supposed to. Just because you see negatives doesn't mean to flip it. So we're going to break this down into 3 different sections today. So Roman numeral number 1, and then we'll do example 1, and we will do an example 2. So y over negative 6 divided by negative 6 plus 7 is less than 9. So let's try this one. Now, the best thing to do when you're solving equations or inequalities, same idea, is to undo things in reverse order of operations. So PEMDAS, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, addition, subtraction happen last. They need to be undone first. So we're going to subtract 7 from both sides. So get rid of addition and subtraction first. Now, just because we subtract 7 from both sides, we don't flip the symbol. That was just subtracting. It's multiplying or dividing by negative. Now, to get rid of the divided by 6, we got to multiply by negative 6. Right? Now we just did that. We just multiplied both sides by negative, so we got to flip the symbol. I like to write that down to make sure I really don't forget to do it. And that's our answer. Now, of course, we're going to graph them on a number line. So 0, 12, 12. It's going to be a dot at negative 12, open or solid? Open, because it doesn't have the or equals to, and greater than is to the right. Y is greater than negative 12. Now remember, there's a little trick. This arrow should point towards the direction that the arrow on the number line goes also. Or you can do it like that. Make it nice and bold and dark, including the arrow in the end. All right, example 2, 4b minus 1 is less than 7. Write that down if you need to. Maybe even try it before I do it. If you want to see if you know how to do this stuff. Get rid of addition and subtraction first. Then get rid of multiplication and division. To get rid of times 4, you got to divide by 4. And we get b is less than 2. So we're going to do number line, 0, negative 2, 2. So we open dot at 2, less than, b is less than 2. All the numbers smaller are going to be to the left on the number line. So like that, or like this, or that arrow is pointing in the same direction. Okay, now we can do a couple more examples of this style. So example 3, it's going to be 6x minus 5 less than 2x plus 11. So this one's getting a little more complicated because now we have variables on both sides. So you want to get your variables together on the same side first. So I'm going to subtract 2x. I usually like to get rid of the smaller amount because then that usually avoids more complicated negative stuff. So subtract 2x from both sides. Rewrite it. Now we're ready. Now it just looks like the others. Get rid of addition and subtraction first. So get rid of minus 5. You got to add 5. This is the kind of work you guys should be showing on your assignments. Then you get rid of times 4, you get divide by 4. So x is less than 4. So if we graph that, open circle at 4, shaded to the left. Okay, example 4. 8 minus 9c is greater than or equal to negative 28. So we're ready to go. The variables are together, and then we want to get that variable by itself, isolate it. So we're going to get rid of addition and subtraction. Now it's positive 8, so you get subtract 8, okay? See some people thinking they need to add 8 because they see a negative. Now here's one of the really common mistakes I see people make is they forget that this negative is still here. That negative belongs to 9c. It's still there. These are both negative, so you actually add their values and make it negative. And we divide both sides by negative 9. Now, when you divide both sides by negative, you have to flip the symbol. Make sure you don't forget. So c is less than or equal to 4. So graph a number line. Negative 4, 0, 4. So it's going to be solid dot at 4. Arrow to the left. Like that, or you could do it like this. Make sure your dot's nice and solid. Okay, now Roman numeral section 2. We're going to talk about special solutions. I don't think we've talked about this yet. We did with equations. We would sometimes get no solution or all real numbers. Same thing can happen here. So to summarize, if you get something that's an inequality, an always true inequality, an always true inequality, that means all the letters are going to drop out. It's just going to be 2 numbers, which is for sure going to be true or false no matter what, because the variables aren't there anymore. So if that happens, the answer is all real numbers. Anything works. Okay, all real numbers. If you get something that's always false, an always false inequality, the letters all drop out, which is weird. It usually doesn't happen. All the letters drop out, and it's for sure false no matter what, then the answer has to be no solution. So those are the 2 cases that might pop up, and you're not always going to be told. You're not going to always be told when they happen. They could be in the middle of a bunch of regular problems. So example 5, we do 8x minus 3 is greater than 4 parentheses 2x plus 3. And why don't we just make it a little crazier anyways at the same time? Now we're trying to do all of the same things we want to do. Now we want to simplify first. So that means getting rid of parentheses, distribute 8x plus 12. Then we want to get our x's together on the same side like we've seen before. So you want to get rid of them on one side, so subtract 8x. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do the other side. And oh my goodness, all the x's go away. Now, that doesn't mean you stop writing. Write down what you have. This is what's left. Negative 3 is greater than or equal to 12. Now, by the way, this is always false, right? Negative 3 is never bigger or equal to 12. This is false no matter what. So the answer is no solution. No value of x is ever going to make negative 3 greater than or equal to 12. All right, let's do another one. Example 6. 2 parentheses 5w minus 1 less than or equal to 7 plus 10w. Okay, so write that down. So we want to distribute first. 10w minus 2. And then we're like, well, let's get all the w's together on the same side. So I'm going to get rid of them over here. Whatever you do one side, you got to do the other. And oh my goodness, they're all gone. Don't stop. Keep going. This is important. This tells you what you need to know. Is negative 2 less than or equal to 7? This is always true no matter what. That means no matter what you pick for w, this is still going to work. So the answer is going to be all real numbers. anything works, because that's going to be true no matter what. Now, we could actually graph this. We just pick some numbers here, and it would just be a solid dark line. The whole thing, all real numbers, is the whole number line. And for this, technically, we could do something. We could just put a empty, totally blank number line, which I don't know if you'll be expect to do that, but we could do this. All real numbers is just a totally solid line. All right, last example. Like in many of our notes, we're going to do an application problem, which is usually a word problem that we need to first translate into a math problem and then do the work we've been doing. So here's the word problem. You need an average score of 90 to earn an A in algebra. Okay? You average score of 90, earn an A in algebra. Your scores are 95, 91, 77, 89 on your quizzes. Okay? So far you've had 4 quizzes. Those are the scores. What do you need on the 5th quiz to earn an A? So pause the video if you need to. Write that down. What do we got to get on the 5th? Okay, so we got to figure out how to write this down. We're trying to find the average score of 90, right? We need an average score of 90. So how do you find average score? Add up all your scores and divide by the number of scores. But we probably need to create a letter or variable for the thing we're looking for. So what are we looking for? We're looking for the 5th quiz. So let's define it. Let x equal the 5th score. So on these word problems, when there's no letters yet, and you're going to pick a letter, you can pick any letter you want. You can pick Q for quiz if you want. But you need to define it so someone else reading your work knows what that letter means. So the average score would be to find an average of something. You add up all the things, 95 plus 91 plus 77 plus 89 plus the 5th score that we don't know yet, x, all divided by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll give you your average quiz score. And it needs to be greater than or equal to 90 to get an A, right? Can you get, if you get 91 average, is that an A? Sure. So greater than or equal to 90. So we're going to solve this. Now, we should probably simplify, add all these up, which you could use a calculator, I guess. I like to practice doing this by hand. Okay, let's see. 5 plus 1 is 6, plus 7 is 13, plus 9 is 22, carry the 2, 18, 20, 27, 35, 352 plus x over 5. Okay, now this is all being divided by 5, so that's kind of like a grouping symbol. So you want to get rid of the divided by 5 by multiplying by 5. So this time I'm going to get rid of the multiplication, move with addition because it's stuck inside of the division. So you got to kind of work your way from the outside in. So we got 352 plus x greater than or equal to 90 times 5. Well, it's 9 times 5? 45. Add a 0. Subtract 352 from both sides. Got to borrow from the 5. It's 4 now. So 10 minus 2 is 8. Got to borrow from the 4. It's a 3 now. 14 minus 5 is 9. So that's our answer at first, but we got to put it back into words because we just chose x. Someone else could have chose something else. So we're going to say you need a 98 or higher or better on the 5th quiz to earn an A. That's your answer. In words, like the problem was stated. So today, I'm going to upload these for credit to Google Classroom. We're also going to do monitoring progress. Monitoring progress at the bottom of the pages, starting at page 74 in the student dynamic ebook. We're going to do problems 1 through 9 all. You got to show the problem, write the problem down, show your work, like the work that we've been doing. Okay, I'm going to show that work, and then box your answer, and then upload it to Google Classroom. Okay, so let's do it. Let's get it done, and let's get ready for our quiz on Friday.